Kevin Scott and Garrett Gravison are the co-founders of ADDO, and their passion is to inspire others, helping people of all ages through global student and thought leadership. They have trained leaders, wait for this, on 6 continents for more than 100 countries, traveling to Cuba, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. But at the core of what these gentlemen set out to do is inspire the people and organizations they work with to grow their reach and relationships and to do good in their communities and all around the world. Welcome, guys.
Hey, good to be with you.
Yeah, so tell us, ADDO is just everywhere. I was doing a little bit of research and everybody's talking about you guys. What makes you different from other leadership organizations or groups?
Yeah, ADDO is the Latin word for inspire. And it really is about breathing life into everything that we do. So whether it's the students we work with or organizations and businesses, we try to help bring their brands or their ideas or their hopes and their dreams to life. And we're having a lot of fun doing it.
So Garrett, when you talk to young people in schools, I know that's a focus that you guys have. We're working with Chick-fil-A. What do you tell them?
Yeah, we want to unlock and unleash their creativity and what we call wow. So I think inside each and every one of us there's potential, and sometimes we just have to unleash it so that they can see what we see in themselves, and they can bring it out and make the world a better place because of it.
So what does unleashing look like? If I'm a young person watching saying, I think I'm a leader, I think I have leadership qualities, how do I unleash those?
I think what we see is that it doesn't always have to be people who are older than them, that there are young people around the world who are already making a difference. And we like to highlight those people, like Malala, who's 17 years old and just won the Nobel Peace Prize as the youngest person ever. And it's not just Malala, but it's people in every city and every place and every community that are making a difference. And we're just trying to really focus the spotlight on them and show other young people they can do it as well.
Is it a challenge when you're talking to young people to say, yeah, there's leadership quality in you? Because I think in media, in society, we kind of put downers on young people and say, oh, the next generation, they don't know what they're doing. So is it hard to kind of inspire young people to look inside themselves and see themselves as leaders?
Yeah, I think young people really do. They have the potential there, but they don't know what to do to get started. And so the very first thing you have to do is look a young person in the eye and say, you have the potential, there's a purpose for your life. And once you've done that, you've just got to help instill in them the courage to make a difference. Garrett has a saying he talks about, 10 seconds of insane courage. And I think that really is what students need to hear to be able to get up and do something that makes a difference.
Now, you're not just dealing with young people, you reach people in the workplace. Tell us about that aspect of what ADDO does.
Yeah, so one of our biggest clients is Chick-fil-A, so a southern company in the United States with strong Christian values, but they said, hey, we want to make a difference in our local communities, and 80% of their people are under the age of 21, so youth is a big priority. So they reached out to ADDO and said, hey, can we create a comprehensive nationwide leadership program that engages community members, engages students, engages their local operators, community by community. And the great thing is, it's all project-based.
Yeah.
So that student-run, student-led at the high school level, students 14 to 18 are creating ideas in their communities that are making a difference across the nation.
And you take them, as I said in my intro, out of North America. You're taking them on wild trips.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we've done in the past, because we believe that when you get students out of a classroom and out of their comfort zone, it makes them just ripe to be able to make a difference in their life. And so in the past, we actually led a previous organization where we took students from university settings out of the country into places like Cape Town, South Africa, or Greece, where they got to do service projects and engage in the local community while they learned leadership. So it's been a fun journey.
And why is that important? Why is it important to take young people out of their comfort zone?
Yeah, I think sometimes we think that maybe the world is just what we see and what we know.
Yeah.
And honestly, we sometimes excite them with shark cage diving or safaris, and they can see the big 5 in Africa because it tends to be on people's bucket lists. But when we get them there and they can learn about Desmond Tutu or Nelson Mandela or about servant leadership, or we even had students live off $1 a day in a township.
Wow.
It really makes service and leadership come alive, because you realize that just because I didn't experience maybe some of these things, I have seen it, I am now a part of it, and we live in a bigger world than what I currently knew.
And then what are the stories that these young people come back with? I mean, living on $1 a day in South Africa is a challenge, obviously.
It's amazing, but they do it, they experience, and then what we love is they come back to their local communities.
Yeah.
They come back to where they're from, and it gives them a sense of confidence of that, hey, you know, I am blessed with a lot of resources and abilities and talents, and I want to become a better friend or a better son or daughter, or one day become a better father or mother because of all the things we've been blessed with and in our time here.
Give me like a short checklist of, again, I'm relating to that young person or that parent that's watching that's saying, yeah, I see leadership qualities in my young person. What's a checklist, a quick one that, you know, we can go through and say, yeah, this means that I have leadership qualities. I need to pursue this.
Well, I think first, we believe that every one of them has inherent leadership qualities. We believe that if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And so there's a plan for their lives. And then we talk about how do you make that come to life. In our framework, there's vision and values, there's teamwork, there's innovation, communication. We believe leadership is about servant leadership, and it's about impact. And so we teach each of those things, whether it's in a monthly leader lab through Chick-fil-A Leader Academy, whether it's in a business setting where we're helping brands come to life, or whether we're out of the country cage diving great white sharks, we want to teach them about these principles that help make their lives better.
So being a servant leader is very important. It's a part of being a good leader. Tell me about your story. I mean, you guys have an interesting story of having your own non-for-profit organization before you started ADDO. Tell us about that, because you're leaders in your own right.
Yeah, and Kevin and I met. I took a year off and spent a year at an AIDS orphanage in Africa. Knew nothing about AIDS or orphanages or kids, and 80 little kids, no moms, no dads, no nothing, and you kind of become a big brother / father figure to them. And I took that passion. I wanted to do something. I came back to the States and created a charity for kids with HIV and AIDS. Because of no fault of their own, they were born in this world, but they get food, medicine, housing, but what about mentors and role models and summer camps and Christmas presents and things like that? And so I met Kevin, and he took this idea, and we got thousands of mentors and raised millions of dollars for these kids. We said, but what if we could do it for everyone at all ages, of all interests, and take that same idea of creating something for these children that started in the middle of Africa, came back to the United States and said, hey, what if we could do this all around the world? And that's what ADDO is really about.
Wow. So what's next for ADDO? Are there other projects that you're going to be endeavoring in? What other aspects are you involved in?
Yeah, right now we're working with other companies across North America and beyond to help them better engage whatever key constituency they want to reach. For some of them it's their employees, for others it's customers or potential customers. So we're working on that. We're working on some international initiatives, and then Garrett and I personally have kind of some passion projects. I'm working on a new book, and Garrett's at Harvard, so a lot of fun things.
You guys have nothing on your plate. You're just like slackers, really.
Well, we're having fun, and I think, you know, here's one thing that's fun though. A lot of things when you work with young people, Garrett and I talk about, it's about modeling. You have to show them. And so a lot of times it's important that if we're going to talk about leadership, we've got to be leaders. We have to do something that helps encourage these young people, shows them that they too can do something that makes a difference. Hey, I can tell you, if these two guys can do it, any of these kids can do it, I promise. So.
And where can people find more information on ADDO?
Yeah, our website's probably the best way. It's just www.addo.is.
And you're probably on Twitter and every other social media.
Kevin's on Twitter, at kevinpaulscott.com. He's great on it.
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us today.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you.